Hi, it's Mrs. Alcamada, and I wanted to go over the first grade packet for this week so you'll know what's in it. The first thing is a book for the kids to read. It's called The Food We Eat, and I will read it out loud quickly just so the kids will know all of the words that are in the story. It says, there are many kinds of food. Where does food come from? It all comes from plants and animals. Where does orange juice come from? Orange juice comes from oranges. Oranges grow on orange trees. Where does milk come from? Milk comes from cows. Cows are animals. Where do bagels come from? Bagels come from wheat. Wheat grows from the seeds of a wheat plant. Where do omelets come from? Omelets are made from eggs. Eggs come from chickens. Where do chips come from? And that says chips are called French fries in the United States. Chips are made from potatoes. Most people think potatoes are part of the potato plant's root. They're really part of the stem that grows below the ground. Where does hamburger meat come from? Hamburger meat is made from beef. Beef comes from cattle. Where does popcorn come from? Popcorn comes from corn. Corn is a seed from a corn plant. Where does cheese come from? Cheese is made from milk. Milk comes from cows. Where does pizza come from? The crust is made from wheat. The sauce is made from tomatoes. The cheese is made from milk. The pepperoni comes from a pig. Pizza comes from plants and animals. Okay, and then after you read the story, practice reading it a couple of times. You have a couple of activities to do. One of them is you will list 4 different foods that you like or 4 different foods from the story, and then mark, does that food come from plants, or does it come from animals, or does it come from both, like in the case of pizza. And then for this one, it's just a matching game. You're practicing the sound, the long E sound, jeans, knee, deer. So you'll read the word, you'll look at the picture, and then you'll read the different words and draw a line to match them to the word it goes to. And then the other page from the story is about punctuation. Some of these need a period at the end, or if they're a question, they need a question mark at the end. Do oranges grow on trees? So that needs a question mark. And then some other ones need a period. And then you're going to write a sentence about where a food comes from. The next thing in your packet is another story called The Food Chain. So I will read this one out loud too, so you'll know all the words in the story for when you practice it at home. All plants need food in order to live. Green plants make food. They need air, water, and sunlight to make food. Most plants need soil too. All animals need food in order to live. These animals eat plants. They are called plant eaters. These animals eat other animals. They are called meat eaters. Plant eaters and meat eaters are part of a food chain. Most food chains begin with plants. The plants make food which animals eat. Let's look at a food chain. A grasshopper eats the leaves of a plant. The grasshopper grows bigger. A frog eats the grasshopper. The frog grows bigger. A fish eats the frog. The fish grows bigger. A small bear catches the fish. The bear eats the fish. The bear grows bigger. This food chain has 5 parts. The green plant is the first part. The grasshopper is the second part. What are the other parts? Okay, so when you practice, after you practice reading this a couple of times or several times, we have a couple different activities to do with it. The one of them is cutting and gluing. So you cut out the 4 parts and then you're going to glue, starting with the plant. The plant is the first part of the food chain. And then what comes next, what comes next, what comes next. And then the next activity is about punctuation. So you're going to practice copying the word on the lines. Make sure you have correct spacing between fingers, and then add the correct punctuation for each sentence. And then the last activity about that story is compound words. So there were several compound words such as grasshopper or sunlight in the story. So you are going to make a compound word using these words and then use that compound word in a sentence. So you could say, the grasshopper eats leaves, for example. And then the last item in your packet is a beach bingo game. So you have, this is the calling card, or whoever's the caller or the teacher. That's all the different pictures that they could call. And then everybody else that's playing, up to 4 people can play. There's 4 bingo cards. There's a card, there's a card, there's a card, and there's a card. So you can cut them out. So you have 4 different cards. And then the caller calls ice cream or sandcastle or umbrella, and you cover up the picture. And then when you have 3 in a row, you say bingo. And then what I want you to do is to practice using your winning words in sentences. So if you have these 3 that helped you win, you would say, I love strawberry ice cream, the sun is shining today, and I made a small sandcastle. And so just to practice using the beach words in sentences and playing a fun game. So I hope you have fun with the activities. Thanks. Bye.